So now we begin the time of our discussion of the Rabbi's message on Vayishlach. And to tell you the truth, before I listened to the message again, because I listened all week as I was writing out the blog, I was so excited about the message. And this morning I had something come up in my family, and the struggle was so huge. I didn't know how I was going to deal with it. And just listening to his message just helped me so much to see what was going on. It's incredible, the truth in Torah. But when you can't see it, you just can't see it, and you can't make other people see what we see. And I love the idea that Hebrew has so many facets that he says, and how the word struggle, ma'abok, has the same root for chabok, which is embrace, and they're opposite meanings, but they're the same coin. And sometimes we struggle with something, and yet we really need to confront it, almost embrace it. And in that way, we can deal with it, and God can lift it from us. The whole idea of assimilation, Hanukkah coming up is about assimilation. And we could even assimilate into the religious faction, which is an enemy really to what the Torah is saying. Anyway, there's so many things that came up in my mind, but I'd like to hear what some of you have to say about the message today.
There's so much to say. Where to start?
I know, that's why it's good to make some notes as
I know.
Keep a pad with you. That's what I do. I write it down.
Yeah,
but it's like he says with the Yetzer Tov, which is a good our intentions may be good, but they turn out wrong. And sometimes the intentions may be bad, but they turn out right. So
yeah, but we have to understand it doesn't. I know what you're saying, and that's true, and it's very true. But sometimes people understand these things wrongly. I mean, our intentions are what count. It doesn't mean that doing bad things. Well, it's God who makes, what God intended for, what we intended for bad, He'll make good. I forget what that line is, but it doesn't excuse bad behavior, but God will even use our bad behavior, for the good, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I even see that in my life, how so many of the things I did were so wrong, but, God, knowing that I've been searching for God all my life, God led me even through those bad things, and they turned out for good.
This morning I was thinking of the word tolerance came to my mind. And we're told we need to tolerate many things in this society. And yet the Torah in many ways is opposite to that. We're not to tolerate. And it's a very, very delicate balance that we walk. Jacob knew that he could not tolerate his brother to be with them. Otherwise, they would have assimilated. There's certain behaviors that we should not tolerate, but the world wants us to do that. And then you look like the bad guy when you don't tolerate it. And I find that's happening a lot in my life. Anyway, Mauricio, I know you always have interesting.
Okay. First, I want to share something that happened this week. My wife was applying. Yes, thank you. Applying for a job in the government, in the Ministry of Environment, And it's really good to know that God concealed the opportunity. We have been praying for this opportunity because, well, kids are 16 years old, 14, and Samara is younger, but you know, when the kids leave the house, then I was worried about what my wife will do at home. Okay, so I think it's time to get something else to do in order to do not let uh the yeah, it's good to have the income. I wouldn't say that it's not good, but it's more important to be busy in something than just to be at home. In psychology there is uh, 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 it's not really a disease, but it's like a feeling, the empty nest, okay,
Right.
which is when everybody lives at home, then you are alone, and the mind starts to bombarding you a lot, and a lot of persons fall into depression. So I was praying that she may have something to do, a good something to start. Is good to have a job. Okay, so then she applied. She's 46-year-old as well as me. So in this country, to find out a job for this age is really hard, but thanks God helped her. And but you know, suddenly this week, specifically on Thursday, uh, the person who was hiding her called my wife and just told her, we look at your university's schedules, and this is it's not matched with the jobs schedule, so it's better to stop this opportunity, to cancel the contract. And so thank you, and everything is closed.
Wow.
So for my wife was very shocked, okay, because she already have the job, and suddenly just receive a call saying it's canceled.
Mhm.
So can you imagine how she was? She was like, I don't know how to do, a lot of feelings inside of her. And then she called me, and I told to her, okay, go and speak with this lady at the ministry. Okay, go. Okay, you already have the no, so why not to try the yes?
Right.
Okay, so and I start to tell her about Jacob's, what he did in this portion, and I told her about the praying that Jacob made before God. He said, "Oh God, you are merciful and you are great, and thank you because you gave me a lot of favor. But honestly, I'm afraid of my brother." Obviously, I told her, you are not at the same position as Jacob, because Esau wanted to kill him. In this case, that this lady doesn't want to kill you. So go and pray to God honestly. Hey God, I am afraid to lose this opportunity of job. So help me. And then we say in Spanish, se armó de valor, which means she dressed with bravery, and then she went. When she get to, obviously, when you go to a government office, you need to have an appointment, okay? And she didn't. So she had to wait few minutes, and then she attended, my wife. She told her, okay, we already gave your position to another person. And she said, no, you cannot do that, because you already told me, we already were to buy clothing, and we already made arrangement with schedules of everything at home. So tell me what you can do, or to make whom I can speak to. So after dealing, I don't know, probably 1 hour, and she received like 12 no's, okay? Then they granted again the position.
Wow.
So and she was very happy, and obviously, you know, she felt fantastic. But honestly, I just said to my inside of me, and I told her, okay, this is what we believe. We believe in a God that give us the lines, okay, eh, to move and to take decisions. And this is what we did, based on what we learned in this portion by Vayishlach. Sometimes we have a no in our lives. Sometimes we have these difficult times, difficult notices, but it's important to be humble, as Jacob was, to say, hey Lord, I'm afraid. I'm not a Superman. I'm just a man of bones and flesh, and please help me. And it's not bad to express, because sometimes people tend to deny their feelings, okay, because we have been thought about, oh, you shouldn't show to another person you are happy, for example, or you are sad. You have to put a mask before
Right.
you, just to
Right.
show what you are not. So but it's important to get along, and this is exactly what Jacob did. He faced his fear. His fear was obviously his brother, to lose everything he had, and the experience when this ish or this man changed his name was when he was alone. So if we are not alone in our life, and we don't face our problems, or whatever to be called, so then we will have we never have the opportunity to rectify. In this message, the Rabbi explained that it's necessary to make sometimes teshuvah. So to make teshuvah is sometimes to deal with our fears also. It's not only I made something wrong and now I want to make it good. No, sometimes I have the opportunity before, for example, I was very afraid about something, and now I have the opportunity to deal with this opportunity again, so I have to take it. So sometimes this is a kind of making teshuvah too, because it's when the opportunities come back to you, then you act in a different way. So I just wanted to I just want to share this, because also I have to leave early. I have some guests in my house today.
Okay.
But I wanted to share this with all the congregation.
But how do you know that God just wasn't closing the door on that maybe he had something else for her? How do we know?
Okay, because we pray this. I pray this. Lord, made what is good for us. So this is not something, sometimes there are person that made this pray just in order to feel, well, if nothing happened, then that will not hurt me. No, this is not about this. This is about, okay, God, you know what is the best for us. So if this job will help to grow, to bring blessing to another person's, I don't know, then keep it. If not, just
Take it
close.
away. Right, close the
Yeah.
door. Right. You have to
So
keep going until you tried everything. And then if it doesn't work, that's when you know it's enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
but this is also important because many people with a simple call saying no is enough to say, okay, no, it's not God's opportunity. But I have learned that sometimes the no is an opportunity also to get a yes, to find out God's support to you. For example, in my job, I remember there were some process that people made, probably not because they wanted to break a law, but when we go with the trucks during the winter, the a lot of water make that some branches of the trees grows and goes into the roads. So when we go with the trucks, we have a sugarcane shop, and then all the sugarcane hits the branches, and we make a mess in the streets. So one of the deals I faced is that that there is a lot of costs about this, because one is that you can make or provoke some accidents with other cars, because 1 meter long of a shop sugar cane, for example, can hit a person in a bike, in a motorcycle, or with a car. You break something and people can just go. Or for example, there is a lot of sugar cane on the street, and then some car can lose the control and swinging in the street, and can hit somebody else. Or also we have to spend a lot of money cleaning the streets. So then I said, okay, the first point is that we have to stop to make trash on the streets. We need to verify this. So we decided to load the cargo. Then we also decided to ask for permissions with different mayor offices on the street. They have an environmental office, and they give you the opportunity. And I remember these words from my boss. I said, okay, I have to go to like 50 or 55 different mayor offices to get permission.
Now you'll have a direct line.
Yeah, but nobody wanted to do it because they said, oh, it's expensive, it's very hard and very tough, and to deal with a lot of people. But I said, no, but that is what is right. Okay. And I remember my boss told me, Mauricio, don't do it. Don't lose your time. Nobody will give you the permissions. So it's better to clean. And I said, no, it's not right. And so I went. And since 10 years ago, every crop we renew the permissions. So but they said no, it cannot be done. And I can tell you a lot of different stories that people has told me, oh, that is not possible, that you can do, that is not right. And and I said, no, I have to do what is right. So sometimes we have to I don't want to use the word fight, because it's not really fight. It's about, like it comes to my mind, the lady who was with Yeshua, and this lady came up to Yeshua and told him, please heal my boy, because only a word from you can heal him. So probably, I don't know, it was very hard to get an audience with Yeshua. So, but she tried, and this is the spirit that sometimes we need to have in the congregation, in the community, in our families, that we need to stand up sometimes and not have a position of saying, oh, it cannot be done, I couldn't, it was not possible. No, we need to have another spirit, like the spirit of Caleb and Yehoshua, no?
Right.
So and this is very important.
Right.
I was honestly impacted yesterday. I saw a video from the army of Israel, and it was something that unbelievable, honestly. Now they can to the dome of the defense system of Israel. They install some X in order,
X-rays?
yeah, to when there is a missile or
Like the Iron Dome?
yeah, like the Iron Dome. Yeah, in the Iron Dome right now is like they have rockets, and with the rockets they intercept different rockets and missiles.
Right.
But now they have improved that, and now they just shoot, like like what you saw in Star Wars or something like that, X-ray hitting the rockets and
Wow.
exploding them,
Wow.
or hitting a drone, or
The
hitting
drones. Yeah.
whatever. So
Right.
and they say, oh, this was something impossible a few years ago, now it's possible.
Right.
And you can see the face of the high military ranges in Israel, and everybody wear like this face. Okay, so
Wow.
you say, okay, it was not possible, but the spirit of Caleb and Yehoshua, they said, oh no, we need to fight and to look for, to stand up and find a solution to be more protected. As well, for example, to say, we have a desert here, so why we don't sit and farm and to have a produce in the desert? And they did it. So sometimes I believe that there's a lot of opportunities that God present to us, and so we have to deal and say, okay, do we take it or not?
Yeah, it reminds me of when Jacob knew that his brother was coming with 400 men. The first thing he did was he divided the camp in two, And then the second thing he did was to prepare all the gifts to give to his brother and to send ahead of him. And then he prayed, but he took the actions first. He did what he had to do and then went to God, because God gives us the free will. He gives us the head to do it. We can't just, oh, God, take care of me, do everything. We need to take a step. And that I noticed that this week when I was reading it again, he did it first.
Yes, or probably Jacob could say, "Oh no, I will go to another land.
I'll run
My
away."
brother is here," and run away again.
Exactly. And he didn't. He faced it.
Yeah, but he needed to face it.
Yeah.
So, and it was not an easy choice because, he had 11 kids and 4 wives and a lot of men and women
Cattle,
servants,
yeah,
cattle and everything. I
Yeah.
mean, he was like, he can lose everything.
yeah. He
in 1
wouldn't have been
second.
able to outrun everybody. Esau and Lavan, they would all been after him. Yeah, it's true. And it's very good because I'm being faced with a situation where I have to have courage. And it's not always easy. It's easier to just want to run away in the other direction. And I just have to do it. So the message that Rabbi gave and your story really helped me. And I'm just going to ask for prayer that I can have the courage to stand up and deal with what I need to in my own family. So, okay, Mauricio, go and be with your family. Thank you for participating today. I really appreciate it. And so I think what we'll do is we'll say goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the Shabbat. Etit, I hope you feel better soon. And that's it. We'll have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Yes, Brian? Bye.
Yeah, I had to go to the latrine. So
Okay. Thank you.
I need a copy of it.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing. All right. Okay,
Take a
good.
break after we finish
Thank-
before we start this conversation.
Okay, good. Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Have a
Shabbat
wonderful
shalom.
week.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Bye-bye.